We had seen these videos of Justin Bieber being handed over to him at age 15. Great job. Great job. And for his weekend with Diddy camp. I mean, we don't know, but it certainly looks like Justin Bieber is still suffering the fallout from whatever happened to him as he was coming up the ranks of the music world. It really doesn't seem worth it. I mean, I'd love to hear more from his camp about what's real, because it's clear he's suffering. We just don't know from what. And what mother out there would give her 15-year-old boy over to a grown man who's in the rap industry for a weekend with Diddy camp without other adult supervision?
We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
The story begins with one of the most unsettling pieces of footage to resurface in recent years. Diddy sitting beside a 15-year-old Justin Bieber, boasting to the cameras that he had custody of the teenager for 48 hours. He smirked, laughed, and declared that they were going to go crazy. At the time, most brushed it off as eccentric behavior from a powerful music mogul. But when the footage resurfaced, it took on a far more disturbing meaning. And Megyn Kelly, known for her sharp commentary and refusal to pull punches, decided it was time to say what so many others had avoided.
Justin Bieber was very young when he came into Diddy's circle. And that tape you referenced of the two of them about to spend 48 hours together or having just was disturbing. And there's no question he had a lot of exposure to this guy. And I think he should say something.
You ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose.
Because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious it is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile on your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that.
Megyn Kelly has never been afraid to challenge the rich and powerful, and when she saw the resurfaced clips and connected them to the lawsuits now piling up against Diddy, she called it exactly what it looked like: a system failing to protect children while shielding those with influence. To her, this wasn't a story about an innocent mentorship. It was about control, manipulation, and silence. And Justin Bieber was one of its most high-profile victims.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything?
Yeah.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we become friends in a strange way, you know.
Like Robin Big.
Yeah. It's like exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Months ago, I was really struggling mentally and emotionally, and just there were so many things that were adding up, and I wasn't able to enjoy any of the things that I owned.
That stuff's not gonna matter to you.
None of the actual things did anything because I was so hurt and I was so confused and I was so sick, and there was all these things, and I was like, I can't, there's like, you just can't, like you said, you can't enjoy the actual physical, tangible, things.
Kelly reminded her audience of the timeline. Justin Bieber was just a kid when he was discovered on YouTube. His raw talent got him signed to Usher and managed by Scooter Braun. Almost overnight, he went from singing in his bedroom to being thrust into global fame. And then came Diddy. The old clips show Diddy pressuring Bieber in front of cameras, asking why he wasn't answering calls, insisting they should be spending more time together. Bieber, clearly nervous, tried to explain he didn't even have Diddy's number. His awkward laugh told the real story. He wasn't comfortable, but he didn't know how to say no.
If so, bump somebody. All right, thanks. I love you, man. Bye. I got my MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
The you of then was on a path of self-destruction.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah. It would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive, for sure. It was dark. So I'm very, very grateful to have influences in my life that have played a huge part in me seeing their relationship with Jesus and their relationship with their wives and their relationship with their kids and saying that's what I want. But I want to definitely tell my story so that if that resonates to anybody, that they can hopefully. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and
Anyways, I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
Wow! I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Look at what a beautiful face. All right, now it's time to...
Megyn Kelly replayed that footage and asked the hard question. Why was this ever considered acceptable? Why did no one step in when it was obvious something was off? Why did the media, instead of raising concerns, laugh it off as quirky behavior? The truth, she argued, is simple. Diddy was too powerful. No one wanted to challenge him, and that silence allowed him to continue unchecked. Kelly highlighted that this wasn't the first time Diddy had inserted himself into the life of a young rising star. He once claimed he had legal guardianship over Usher when Usher was just starting out. Back then, people treated it like a funny anecdote. But in hindsight, in light of mounting lawsuits and disturbing allegations, that story looks like a glaring red flag. Kelly said this was a pattern, not a coincidence. Diddy consistently aligned himself with young, impressionable talent, and no one questioned why. Years later, in a 2020 interview with Zane Lowe, Justin Bieber broke down in tears as he talked about wanting to protect Billie Eilish, another teenager thrust into sudden fame. He admitted he didn't want her to go through what he went through. He never mentioned Diddy by name, but Kelly argued that the pain in Bieber's voice spoke volumes. He didn't need to say it, she said. We already knew who was at the center of his story. Footage from Diddy's infamous parties only added to the suspicion. In one clip, Bieber is seen looking dazed and out of it, sitting with Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr. He wasn't in control, and he certainly wasn't enjoying himself. Kelly tied this to lawsuits that accused Diddy of running events where guests weren't fully aware of what they were consuming. She described Bieber as a child overwhelmed by forces he couldn't possibly understand. To her, it was heartbreaking proof that Bieber was pulled into situations he never should have been in. Kelly turned her attention to the role of the industry. She blasted managers, agents, and executives who saw what was happening and chose silence. They witnessed the strange relationship between Diddy and Bieber. They saw a boy placed into dangerous environments. They heard the whispers, but they did nothing because Diddy was untouchable. They let it happen, Kelly said. They sacrificed a child's safety to protect a powerful man. The silence extended to the media, too. Kelly showed clips of Bieber dodging questions about Diddy, visibly uncomfortable, and pointed out how interviewers laughed it off instead of pressing him. His nervous giggles weren't funny, they were cries for help. Yet the press ignored it, choosing to maintain access to Diddy rather than risk challenging him. Kelly called this one of the biggest failures of journalism in modern entertainment history. Now, with lawsuits, testimonies, and investigations mounting, Kelly said the truth can't be ignored any longer. The fortress that once protected Diddy is crumbling. Former friends are distancing themselves. Business partners are walking away. And the public is finally seeing what was hidden in plain sight for years. This isn't gossip, Kelly insisted. This is evidence. This is testimony. This is a pattern too consistent to dismiss. She asked parents watching to imagine their own children in Bieber's position. Would they allow their teenage son or daughter to spend unsupervised nights with a powerful adult celebrity? The answer, of course, is no. Yet when it came to Diddy, everyone acted like it was normal. Kelly said this normalization was one of the most dangerous parts of the entire story. It conditioned people to ignore red flags simply because of who Diddy was. Kelly emphasized that Diddy's wealth wasn't just about luxury, it was about leverage. The mansions, the cars, the jets, the endless displays of extravagance weren't just symbols of success. They were tools of influence. He used them to lure, to impress, to build trust, and to maintain control. Even parents, dazzled by his fame and fortune, were convinced their children were safe under his watch. But they weren't. She described the lawsuits against him as a chilling look into what was really going on behind closed doors. They speak of manipulation, of environments designed to keep people quiet, of intimidation used to protect Diddy's empire. Kelly said these aren't wild rumors, they are sworn testimonies. And when you line them up next to the footage of Bieber and the stories of Usher, the pattern is impossible to deny. Kelly's outrage centered on one key truth. None of this should have been a surprise. The footage has existed for years. The whispers have echoed for decades. The warning signs were everywhere. Yet the industry ignored them, choosing silence over accountability. That silence, she argued, is what enabled Diddy for so long, but the silence is cracking. The lawsuits are public, the testimonies are piling up, and the world is paying attention in a way it never has before. Diddy can hire lawyers. He can spin stories. But he cannot erase the footage of Bieber at 15. He cannot erase Bieber's tears in 2020. He cannot erase the testimonies that are stacking up against him. The truth, Kelly said, is out there, and it's getting louder. She praised Bieber for his resilience. Despite everything, he's still here, still making music, still speaking out in his own way. She said he never asked for this life. He was a kid with a guitar and a dream pulled into a machine that should have protected him, but instead left him vulnerable to people like Diddy. The fact that Justin survived is a miracle, she said, but he shouldn't have had to. Kelly ripped into the media again, accusing them of rewriting history now that Diddy is facing real consequences. Outlets that once praised him are now hedging, trying to distance themselves. You knew, she said. You all knew, and you said nothing. She accused the press of failing Bieber, failing the public, and failing their responsibility to tell the truth. The most powerful line in Kelly's segment was this: not guilty doesn't mean innocent. It just means powerful to her. That was the essence of the story. Diddy has avoided accountability for years, not because he's blameless, but because he's influential enough to bend the system in his favor. But that era, she argued, is ending. She concluded with a stark warning. The lawsuits and investigations may take time, but the damage to Diddy's legacy is permanent. No verdict can erase the footage, the testimonies, or the pain etched into Bieber's story. Kelly said history will not remember Diddy as a legend. It will remember him as a cautionary tale of how power corrupts and how silence destroys. Her message was clear: accountability is coming. It may not come through the courts right away, it may not come through the media, but it will come through the public, through history, and through the voices that refuse to stay silent any longer. And when it does, Diddy's empire will collapse under the weight of the truth.